remember just like a couple of weeks ago when Marjorie Greene was feuding with Laura Loomer, and we really begrudgingly on TDR had to say that like Greene's the smart one out of the pair? Well, we might have to amend that a little bit because Greene started tweeting again, and she tweeted, "Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done." Now, I am such a devil's advocate that in a little bit, I am going to acknowledge the grains of truth to that have nothing to do with what she's saying, to be clear. She followed up that tweet with this. A map of the East Coast says, "This is a map of hurricane affected areas with an overlay of electoral map by political party, shows how hurricane devastation could affect the election." Now, if she had not sent the first tweet and had just sent that, let's keep that up for a little bit, had just put that, then that could just be a congressperson saying, "Hey, things can affect the election. It's an act of God. Let's see if we can speculate as to what effect this could have." But of course, she just said that man, dumb people love they, don't they? They is such a fun tool for a dumb donkey. But anyway, they can affect the weather. So I guess they did this to affect the election. Can we put up that one more time? So the idea that she seems to be saying is this was done to hurt red areas, I guess, to affect the election, even though in that map, there's a whole ton of blue areas. And I know what she would say because I know how dumb people think. Yeah, but there's more red land. Yes, I understand that you do not understand how population density works and you never ever will. I get that. But the idea that you would devastate both red and blue areas with weather controlling technology that you, I guess, have to affect the election makes no sense. By the way, even if you believe that, do we think that red areas that have just been hit by a massive hurricane are going to be more predisposed to vote for the Democrats that were in power when it happened? I literally can't even follow the various conflicting conspiratorial thought lines here. So, Brett, what do you make of this?
She's talking not about Jews, though, to be fair, we can control the weather. Like if I were to say rain, stop raining, lightning, like it happens, right? Lightning again.
You're controlling it.
Raining money. Like I can make it happen. It's very easy for me to do because I'm Jewish. I choose not to. There's not enough of us. I can only make it rain in my house. There were only 2% of the population. It's fine. But we do make it rain money according to you horrible, horrible people. I think instead she's talking about the folks that I think we all as God-loving people understand to control the weather, and that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now she, this heathen woman, this evil, sacrilegious wench, and I feel happy saying that because I did go to a Christian school, 3 different Christian schools of various denominations, and they all agree that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit control the weather. She's actually screaming at the Lord for ruining people's lives. Now, I understand that there's God's plan here, but she doesn't. She is against me and obviously Drake when we say that God's plan is that, on the other side of the storm is a rainbow. And she, I guess, just stopped loving God when she made that tweet.
I don't know what to do with you sometimes. You're making good points. That is funny, but you are arguably as insane as Marjorie Greene. And it's still raining. I don't even think you can control it sometimes. I think you prematurely precipitated. But anyway, yeah, she's
John's secretly grosser than me.
Maybe. She's a stupid conspiracist. That's all she is. Like we should have better. We don't. You can just be in a really red area and you can be really, really dumb and really conspiratorial. You can do that. That's the thing that you can do. By the way, someone in the comments said the blue areas in the map are ocean, John, that's funny. I like that. Now, obviously, the blue parts are land. But anyway, that was for one person in the audience. So when I was saying that there's a grain of truth to it or whatever, it's that. So yes, there's cloud seeding and there's different things like that, hypothetically. What I would say, though, the darker truth to what she's saying is she says they can control the weather. I don't know about control, but they can affect the weather. And you know who they is? everyone responsible for the emissions that have changed our climate, because that has affected the weather, the climate more broadly, but the weather as well. And I'm glad that she brought this up because it makes her look stupid, and that's always fun. But more importantly, because like when there's something like climate change that's coming, it's a thing that is true. And we know that because it's been, they've been, thousands of scientists have looked into it a million different times, and they refuse to accept it. It might be, I don't know, appealing to think, well, someday people will accept it. And when that happens, they'll know that we were right and they'll have to agree with us then. But no. Marjorie Greene is showing that there is a certain amount of mental flexibility and adaptability on their side. When the hurricanes, for instance, are so devastating that like it starts to be like, you cannot say that things are not changing. That doesn't mean that they'll accept the science, that they'll ever accept the science. Conspiracies step into that gap way smoother and with way less research than actually understanding how hotter oceans lead to more intense hurricanes. Just say the Jews have a machine. It's in some basement in a building in New York City in Manhattan, and they do some dials or something, and then storm hits Florida. And there's millions and millions of people that are stupid enough to just believe that, Brett. So that sucks.
The difference between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump is like, I wonder if they're going to believe this horse crap that I am peddling. Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, no, this is the truth. This crazy ass thing is the truth. That's terrifying. I mean, Donald Trump is more evil, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is just more depressing and terrifying.
Yeah, I hate it. By the way, I sort of drew a contrast between Marjorie Greene and Laura Loomer to start this thing off. To be clear, Laura Loomer is also really, really dumb and really conspiratorial. You might recall, I think we might have talked about this on the show. Back during the Republican primaries, Laura Loomer said that Nikki Haley was using weather manipulation to rig the Iowa caucus. Which, no, she isn't. I don't even think that Nikki Haley is Jewish. So how would that have worked, Laura Loomer? No, the entire thing is so stupid. By the way, Trump obviously won the Iowa caucus. And so I was thinking, will she retract that afterward? No, because being a dumb conspiratorial donkey means never having to say you were wrong, and you never have to say sorry. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?